Hey, everybody. Welcome to Raise the Bar. Glad to have Hunter Johnson. He's coming off a gold.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How many suitcases do you and Paris travel with?
This week was a lot. She had 2 big ones, a carry-on pickleball bag, and then I had a carry-on, a pickleball bag, my big bag, and then a side duffel.
7, 8?
That's like Home Alone or something.
All right, better logo, Mad Drops or Squeeze?
The Mad Drops literally looks like me, so I gotta go with that. I was cut my finger a little bit, gave some blood on the court.
That blood's traveling too because it's a portable court.
Exactly. Which court is it gonna be? Yeah, exactly.
But otherwise, good luck in the finals.
Dekel, I'll see you there.
Shout out Zoe Wong getting to the championship
first final.
Sunday. Kate fights it out. I think that's Kate's third goal? Second goal?
I think third, but I'm not sure.
What's going on in your week?
Started drilling here at the lab, of course. Where else? Drilling for a few days and then a couple days of games. Try to implement what I worked on. So yeah, that's my week. What does that think? You don't miss those.
Trying to do. Wow.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Mari and Tina would be a very fun Dream Breakers matchup. Yeah.
Better than. Oh! You just want me out of the frame, don't you? No way.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Raise the Bar. We're glad to have Hunter Johnson with us this week. He's coming off a gold in Milwaukee. Hunter, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
You're very excited to be here. You don't even have any lights on. You're so excited. But you got some good glow.
Yeah. Got the lighting good.
You're fresh off the plane from Milwaukee. Had you ever been to Milwaukee?
No, first time. I was pretty surprised. It was a pretty nice city. I mean, it wasn't as cold as I thought, so that's good. But the food was good. We really enjoyed it. Had a nice Airbnb, not too far away. I actually like when you have tournaments at the convention centers, just because I like the atmosphere. I like the indoor. I love playing indoors. I think it suits my game the best.
Yes. And it was downtown, right?
It was right downtown, yeah, right in the huge convention center. Just parked right across the street, walked over, super nice. Luckily, I was almost expecting it to be like snowing or something, but it was fine. We were good. So
Milwaukee, it's so nice.
Wisconsin, yeah. Paris thought we were gonna have a lot of cheese there and stuff, so we didn't.
I mean, that's to be expected. But you get gold. You beat Fed in the final, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But we want to start off with a little bit of a rapid fire section. You ready?
Okay. Yep. Let's do it.
There's $1,000 on the line to make a clean winner in singles. What shot do you line up to hit?
Forehand inside out.
Okay. Would you
that one?
We've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen it, Dekel.
Would you rather play Ben 5 times or Fed 5 times?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, I have to say Fed because I've played him more and I've beaten him. I have not beaten Ben yet, so Fed.
Yeah, so you train at the lab like Michael Lloyd, you'd be able to beat Ben. Not a big deal. We won't distract. But if you could change one thing about Yates's game, what would it be?
His focus. I don't know.
Okay. But what would he change about your game?
He would probably say not to get so mad sometimes.
You do have a lot of hand motions.
Yeah, I do. I'm a little dramatic sometimes, but I think I've kind of reeled that in as I've had more success. I realize it doesn't really help. If you notice, I lost a game 11-0 to Fed in the finals. I think before I would have been really pissed and thrown my paddle or done something crazy. But this time I just kind of sat there, regrouped, thought of a game plan. Paris helped with that a little bit, of course, and just went back at it. Just didn't. The emotions weren't up and down. It was just pretty neutral the whole time. And with him, it was up and down, so it worked out.
Nice. Yeah, it's so helpful to have somebody on the bench, even if it's just for moral support and it's not a coach.
Right.
Obviously, that's going to help you with on court as well. But
he sits on the girlies bench one time, and now he's preaching about bench. Life.
No,
yeah, unfortunately, we can't sit on the benches anymore. You know, we have to sit on the player side.
I don't like it. I don't like it
either. I like it. I like the close contact, like coach right there. I think it's good for the sport. But
it's weird to have the whisper. It's like the
Yeah, like behind
Like,
you.
that's weirder.
If there's like a chair right next to it, then I would support it. But sometimes, like, depends on the court. Now it'll be like behind or like in the crowd.
Yeah,
So it's not as
I think
you need to leave your like your chair to go kind of far and talk to your coach in the crowd. So
yeah.
I'm a huge fan of that.
I mean, everyone was wondering like, oh, where's Paris? Because usually she's right behind, like right in my ear. It's perfect. She was just on the other side, so I'd have to like walk over there before the changeover was over. But you know, maybe like a coach at one point was like cheering too loud and they changed the rule. I don't know why. So
yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's for optics, maybe like
maybe
to look more
looks
professional or like more like tennis.
I mean, Paris has her aloe outfits is pretty professional, you know.
Yeah.
Well, okay. There's going to be a limited number of brand sponsor plugs. So if you want Wilson to come up later, which I know you're wearing,
Wilson, aloe, you know, all of them.
Boom.
I got both.
Progressive draw or traditional draw, and why?
Honestly, I've kind of fallen in love with the progressive draw. I think it's been nice to know your schedule. You know, you have, especially like Fountain Blue in Vegas, it was awesome being able to play your match, go up to your hotel room, shower, eat, relax, regroup, go play again. I think that's how sport should be. It's a little hectic when you're just waiting for that text and you don't know whether to stretch or roll out or eat or anything like that. So it worked out this weekend, but I think I do like the progressives.
Okay, fair enough. How many suitcases do you and Paris travel with?
This week was a lot. She had 2 big ones, a carry-on, her pickleball bag, and then I had a carry-on, a pickleball bag, my big bag, and then a side duffel.
What was that? 7, 8?
That's like Home Alone or something.
Yeah,
like
I remember.
movie scene.
Where did I travel with you guys? Maybe it was like California or something. I forget exactly, but
yes, it was. Where was that?
I think it was on the way to California, like Masters.
I think it was Sacramento. I think.
Oh yeah.
It was like 10 bags, and Dekel has like his one little bag. Like you have Lina who has like literally a backpack, and I'm like, you have a kid and you only have a backpack and like a little roller. I'm like, how is that possible? Yeah, I got all the gadgets though. I got the rollers, I got the balls, the bands, I got we got the Normatec. I mean, you just need a lot of that.
Both of you.
Yeah, it's a lot, Paris.
He owns the gadget. He's got like the Brookstone collection going.
I got the Brookstones, exactly. I pretty much have a massage chair, you know, traveling with me. So
nice.
Yeah.
All right, better logo: Mad Drops or Squeeze?
Mad Drops, obviously.
That's
Squeeze logo. The Squeeze logo is pretty cool, but the Mad Drops literally looks like me, so I got to go with that. Yeah, I just need to get the headband and the glasses.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Favorite shot?
Forehand drive.
Forehand drive?
Easy. Yeah.
Okay.
Weak.
I know.
You have a good 2-hand up the line.
I guess my backhand up the line is.
Oh no, you can't revise.
Okay, second favorite. It's fine.
Saw a lot of them now in the final. A lot of the backhand lines.
Yeah, it was working. Usually, I don't go to Fed's forehand because his forehand volley just spreads you thin and makes you run. But yeah, I mean, my backhand line was working, but my forehand line, I was almost doing the shot that Fed does the best, is that on the run forehand kind of just, you know. And I was doing that in the warm up a little bit, and I think that kind of helped, and I kind of found the right power, and the ball would dip perfectly, and he'd have to hit that slice backhand volley. It worked out pretty well. So
awesome.
Yeah.
It seemed like the conditions there were very fast, like faster than normal. I assume it's like the indoors, but also the court.
I don't know. I mean, I actually didn't feel like it was that fast. Like usually, I'll be the first to admit, like if I hit pretty big in singles, especially. I didn't feel like too many balls flew. I didn't feel like usually on my returns, I really can feel if it's fast. Like in Salt Lake, like you'll definitely fly some returns, but here. I mean, I just kind of adjusted because it was obviously on the rollout courts, so the ball's bouncing half the amount, and so I just kind of you just have to stay super low. But it wasn't fast, but I don't know. I guess the court kind of evened it out. Like I would just stay lower, and maybe that's what I just need to do all the time is stay low, and my balls will never fly. I don't know. So
cool. Yeah, it's usually those courts are very gritty, but the bounce is like low, so it kind of like counter each other.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it was tricky. I think a little trickier in doubles for me, just because dinking and dead spots and all that. Singles is like usually not the. I don't have too many problems on those courts with dead spots. So
Okay.
yeah.
If they could get the court surface to like 80 or 90% of an outdoor curve surface in terms of playability, would you go inside for most of the tournaments?
Probably yes. Yeah, I would go pasty white skin for sure. No problem. Don't see the sun. No wind. I love it.
It does. It's growing on me. I think, yeah, a lot of folks have been advocating for indoor, especially when there's inclement weather or something like that. But if they can get the courts playing, not
Just like
perfect,
just like the lab.
no. But if they can get them up there, like B plus, A minus, it's like it feels like it's pretty compelling.
I mean, if the lab was smarter, they would create different conditions, wind, rain, indoors, just to be able to cope. I don't know.
There's a door here that opens up, and for wind, for sun.
Hey, it's already tough enough playing us, so you don't need adverse conditions.
Yeah. Okay, Ryan.
Wait, you're forgetting our companionship. We took this guy down.
I know. I was just gonna say I've seen your backhand flick and your counters are good.
We beat Dekel
on those roll-on courts.
That's true. That's okay.
No, it was roll-on courts. Yeah.
It actually,
note to self: order roll-on courts for the indoor.
Yes.
They actually played. Well, New York, it depends which court.
It's fine,
but
it was. I think we still took the dub though, Ryan. So we're good.
Yeah, no,
one of the games.
You can be happy now.
It's okay.
Right.
I didn't remember any of this stuff.
Yeah.
He hasn't heard his notes, so
he doesn't dream about this at night or anything.
It's in my logbook. It's not a big deal. We don't have to really break it down by game, but I thought the key theme in game one is obviously your inside-out forehand to his backhand volley, once, twice, 3 times in a row, getting a ball that you could kind of hold and then close in on the net. And then if you did bring it to your left, you had the two-hander up the line that worked well on maybe 2 or 3 clean passes. Game 2, and he had a few unforced errors, so it went quick. Game 2, he pickled you as you were humbly sharing, and it seemed like he had some good passes. He had some nasty
drop shots.
Volleys. It was clean winners, and then it just was okay. Well,
I mean, this is what I did in the second. Ready? I blinked. That's it. It was over. It was over so quick. So, I mean, I was just happy to just get a couple points in that third to start off. That was the biggest key for me. It was try to get ahead. I mean, I knew if I got in a hole after going down 11-0 in one game, I was probably screwed. So I just wanted. I think I went into that third thinking I'm going to serve as big as I can, and if I miss a couple, it's fine. Because I had that problem in the semis in Dallas against him is I kind of let up on my serve. He was playing that aggressive kind of game style, and I was just on the defense and to the end. So yeah. I was not wanting to lose that way again. We can say that. So
going into game 3, I'm curious. Game 1, the strategy worked well. He served pretty big, get a middle ball, run around it, inside out forehand to his backhand volley. It worked well enough. In game 2, you didn't really have a chance to do that. In game 3, do you start trying to do what worked in game 1 again, or is he actually making a move that prevents you from doing that?
I mean, in the second game, I think I served twice. So, and I think maybe did I miss a serve? I don't even remember. But the third, it was really just the same strategy. I actually feel like in the second game, I was overhitting the ball. I was kind of losing my control. Wasn't getting the balls that I really wanted to dip and drop and get below the net. So my biggest thing was if ever I'm overplaying or not missing or not making my shots, I usually will try to dim the power down, get that 70% drive. And that's kind of what I was doing without thinking in the first. And so I just had to get back to that in the third. And then I was even throwing in the inside out kind of drop forehand, which I caught him on a couple times. A couple times I didn't. I was able to scrap out a couple crazy points. Then he missed the one for me to go 10-2 or something. I was cut my finger a little bit, gave some blood on the court. That's all I needed. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Big deal.
That blood's traveling too because it's a portable court.
Exactly.
Johnson's blood.
Which court is it going to be? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you had some funky points at the end of game 3. It didn't seem like he gave up, but it was weird stumbling. You had that miracle hustling.
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a couple crazy points in the beginning of the third game that it almost looked like he was a little bit fatigued. I mean, I know he had the doubles the first part of the day, so that could have been it, but I think I just kind of stuck with the right game plan. I made him kind of work and keep working, not give him that confidence. So I think that was the biggest key. Luckily, I mean, whether he gave me those points or not, I mean, I still had to slide and earn those balls. So I'm just happy with that.
Don't worry, I wasn't taking anything away.
No, I know. Hey.
No, it's good. Props. I mean, second goal this year. And you took over Kwong's spot in the race at 4, so not
Nice.
Yeah, I actually just saw that today. I was pretty shocked. I was not expecting that. So
It's crazy. Before,
cool.
Like a couple of months ago, you were like what, 12,
nobody
15 in the race?
No,
like
I think going into Atlanta, I was like 23 or 25. I mean, I had lost. I mean, my draws were just insane. I was playing Fed 3 times. You know, I played Kwong a couple times, all in second round. I think I lost 8 second rounds in a row in the tournaments. And I was just like, I remember talking to Paris one night. I'm like, what is going on? Like, is it ever going to turn? Is it ever going to change?
It's so tough.
It's like Christian
way,
and mixed. He plays Ben in the quarters every time.
But also the way they do some of the draws, like if you're in a certain spot, like you're going to play a top 4 player every time in the second round. So it's hard to get out of it until you beat them. But then you started beating all of them. So you beat Fed a couple of times, you beat or a few times, you beat Kwong, right?
Yeah.
And you had, Connor now a few times. Anyway, like you start beating those guys like on a more on a consistent basis. Like what changed really?
Yeah, I mean, like I was kind of talking with Paris after like that probably 8th loss in a row in the second round, and she was just kind of telling me, "Hey, listen, like you have the level. Like I was losing in 3 most of the matches. I mean, it wasn't like I was getting blown out. So she just kind of had to like make me realize again, like, hey, you're close to just having a breakthrough. Like all you have to do is just get that confidence back a little bit, and then things will be off to the races. And luckily, like I think my biggest, I played Kwong second round in Dallas PPA, and that was I think the turning point for me because he had been my I just had I wanted to beat him because I knew his game is so tough against a lot of people. And our games are similar. We both kind of hit big and play the same way. And I knew if I can just get one of those kinds of wins, I could kind of change my mentality. And I got that win there. And then just that belief just slowly started creeping in just a little bit. And then Atlanta was obviously the biggest one. And then from there, I just kept just go full steam ahead. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's crazy what confidence can do. Like you have the skill.
Yeah.
You have the skill, but like if your confidence not there, you're not reaching that.
It's so mental.
Skill,
I was gonna say what a talented and loving girlfriend could do.
That too.
No, I'm serious. I mean, he's mentioned Paris.
Yeah,
that's grand ball too. He's mentioning Paris, Allo, Wilson. No, it's awesome.
It's all together.
I mean, it's a common talking point when they cut the timeout and Paris is there for you, and vice versa. It's fun. I saw it at Virginia Beach when I was commenting on championship, and it's a cool dynamic.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and no one gives credit to Yates. Yates is always in the corner as well. Yeah. So, having 2 insights, is always huge. Like if Paris is playing, I'll always have Yates to kind of get in my ear and like say, "Hey, dude, you're fine. Like just do a couple different things and you'll be good." Because we both can analyze very well. So I think that twin thing really helps us as well. I mean, every time we play, we both are thinking the same thoughts. So,
dude, New Braunfels internet connection.
It might be the lab. I don't
No,
know.
not us. We're steady. But I would commend you on your New Braunfels loyal citizenship. Anytime I say Austin, I think I don't get clarified by it, but everyone likes to separate it out. New Braunfels. Wow.
It's too far, No. Honestly, if I was home more, I would come up to Austin more. So don't get too sad.
Dekel would love to have you.
Yeah.
Just don't be him.
Come over.
One last thing on the single side. What's something you're still working on, and why is it cat and mouse?
Honestly, my cat and mouse I feel like was just a little better this time. That's not usually my forte. I mean, I like to just grip it and rip it. But I feel like with these courts this weekend, I really had to whenever Fed would make that drop volley, I would really have to come in and make a decision of, okay, ball's below the net. I need to somehow create an angle or just slow it down. And there was a few points where I kind of shocked myself. Like I realized like I just hit him a dead dink, and then all of a sudden he couldn't do as much as I thought he could. Sometimes
Yeah.
he'll throw that like behind the back forehand cross crap, that I've lost to that quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, I think that was a moment as well moving forward that I know that cat and mouse is definitely important, especially when my passing shots aren't working. I need to slow it down, drop, baby drive, drop, whatever you call it, and just get in and slow it down because I have good hands. I just need to trust them, I think, a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought in Virginia Beach you got a little too cute, and sometimes you're hitting the tape.
For sure.
It could just be like a hold, and then you're just doing a soft misdirect or a soft.
Definitely. Especially against Ben. Ben's my kryptonite with that sometimes. Is just like he's so much lengthier than people realize. I mean, he takes a crossover step to get to his backhand, big forehand step, and it's like usually some passes that are always passes for me against other players are not against him. So I think I need to be able to drive, and then that kind of fifth ball drop, trust my hands, get in. See how that goes.
If Ferris and Yates aren't going to help you, you can come up here and
okay, cool. We can drill.
Throw some balls around, and you have to do some hectic movements. We're not going to let you pass us on baseline rips because you would pass us, but we can give you some kitchen play.
I don't know. I don't think I want any part of those big old thighs there. You might beat me to side, Ryan.
That's true. That's true. Shout out to the thighs. But okay, one of the new segments that's been really well received is having our guests teach some Raise the Bar viewers a shot, or at least kind of peel back the kind of the one or two key parts of what makes a shot special for you. I think we were both talking about this before. The dip that you have on either the inside out or even your inside in, drive and pass is crazy. I don't really get it because no, honestly, I don't really get it. I'm like, it's not a huge brush up from low to high. It doesn't seem like you're overly wristy. I'm self-volunteering you to teach us how someone should try to think of at the more intermediate level should think about shaping their shots.
I don't know. These are such big comments. I don't know if I should give away the secrets. Jeez. Thank you.
one or two mini tidbits.
Okay. I mean, for me, I've never really thought about my forehand. It was always kind of like contact point. No. Coming from tennis, I never thought about my forehand in the sense of technique or anything. My forehand was always kind of wrist down, kind of just whip the ball in tennis. And so coming to pickleball, I think I was trying to do that at first, but it definitely didn't work because the contact points, you can't hit it out in front. So I think the first thing would be contact point. Everyone just tries to hit the ball a little bit too far in front, maybe a little bit like away from them. I always say like visually, I'm a very visual person. So think about, close your eyes, Ryan, ready? Think about that ball coming right to that right hip, and then the contact point is just in that perfect spot, and then you just whip it up. How's that feel?
Whip it up. I like that. No, that's good. Yeah. I'm going to do some slow motion freeze frames for this for you and see if it actually does apply. But no, I think that's helpful because honestly, even on your serve, we're not trying to glaze you right now, but it's like there's like 2 feet. 2 feet of motion. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing too, which is a lot harder to teach and figure out, is the grip. I'm a little bit unique in that sense where I kind of have like a continental grip for my forehand, which is it's probably why it's hard to understand. But the way I lay my wrists back, I kind of lead with like, if you're holding your paddle, it's like that top edge of the paddle, and I kind of try to get that under the ball and then up. So it's like almost, if you don't have a paddle in your hand, how would you be able to hit the ball or try to spin it? You would basically let the ball come in and catch it. So that's basically like that push catch motion, almost like a softball pitch curveball, like it's forward and up.
You've taught this before. I like that.
Yeah.
And are you coming on the side of the ball so a little bit? It seems like sometimes.
So like if I'm trying to bend the ball line, if I'm looking at the ball, I'm almost trying to hit like 7 o'clock on the ball. So like around, under and around it. which is hard to understand.
No, but then it's not actually hard. But I'm like, one of your most dipping and like shots with pace is the inside out, which would presumably be much more of the open wrist and paddle face, like kind of shot out to your right a little bit.
Right. But that's why like that inside out forehand cross, you really have to let that ball come even more than you think to kind of get that around.
Got it. That I'm visualizing right now. That right hip.
Close your eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's helpful.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. We're gonna try to put that into action. Let's move on to doubles real quick. We'll get to mix on another time. You guys are due to make a semi or a final in mixed. You're fast progressing there, but let's focus on doubles for the last few minutes. You've made it to some of the quarters and semis with a variety of partners. You played on the right primarily, I think, for the Mad Drops. Well, when you had Blaine, you played left, but then with AJ, you were playing on the right.
I had to play the right. Just kidding.
You played the right with AJ or Julian.
With me, we kind of played sometimes me on the right, sometimes you on the left. Especially, sorry, you on the right. Sometimes. Anyway, we switched it up.
We played both sides.
2 sides. Way too many. Yeah, I feel like when we were serving, you were on the left more because your third is just crazy good. So listeners, whatever you said, just do that.
Yeah. Six sporting analogies.
Or just get a big partner like Dekel who can easily crash the net and cover the whole court. So it's great.
Yeah, after they pop up a ball from.
Hey, it's a great combo, Dekel.
Between you two, unless you're playing next year. Okay, relax.
Yeah, second half of the year, Dekel. Come on.
Yeah. But you play Julian, and you had a really fun match against Matt and who? Fed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in Atlanta. That was cool.
Yeah.
What's something you're actively focused on the double side? Well, first of all, do you like the right?
I always, everyone always comes into pickleball trying to pick one side or the other. Oh, I'm going to be this right side player or the left side. I think for me, I always kind of had the full mindset of I need to be good on both sides, because if you can switch like the way me and Dekel played in Virginia, it was just pure chaos. So it's like if we're on and we're just switching sides and crashing and burning and dipping and whatever, people don't know what to do. They can't solidify a strategy. So for me, I mean, it just depends. Playing with a partner that can play both sides is great, because maybe that day my backhand dink is just a little, off or whatever. Okay, let's switch forehand, whatever. But I always try to get the full spectrum of shots in each side. But I do like the right side. I mean, I gotta get a new computer. I don't.
All good. Where were we exactly?
He said he's trying to holistically expose himself to left and right. All right. Likes the right, no patterns, no strategy. Come on.
Yeah,
we gotta get you.
I just want to basically be able to play both sides, depending on who you play, what conditions you're playing. If my forehand, if driving against that team is better, okay, I'll play the left. Just being able to switch it up, I think is pretty big for me.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I think you're not quite as crafty on the right with the new strong right, like taking some middle balls. But if you've got the inside out tendencies, like you could take that middle-ish ball back out to the the left sider's backhand, and you have some nasty forehand off the bounce.
Yeah, it's very deceptive.
Speed ups.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was deceptive. I just think it's
sorry. No, but it was not as good as Ryan.
Thank you. No. Thank you.
It was Kwong a few times. I've seen it freeze a lot of other guys where it's like gonna like chest high and they'll leave it out and it's in by a foot. It was like,
all right, I don't know, dude. Now the iPad's not working, so we're just gonna try this, I guess.
Okay.
Jeez.
No worries.
So annoying.
There's Ryan.
Hit the camera.
He's doing the.
Is he trying to figure it out?
The hunter forehand. It's just not dipping.
Further behind you, Ryan.
How do you like that, huh?
A little further behind you.
Hit it further behind me? Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
No, but I always thought you go like that versus this.
No. Only on the out. Inside out is a little like into out. I don't know. It's sometimes it's tough.
Well, how to hit the Hunter Johnson drive?
That's a little tougher to explain the inside out forehand.
Well, we'll see you on site at a tourney soon. Hunter Johnson, what are you working on in doubles right now? What parts of your game are you improving or most focused on?
In doubles, I'm working on trying to have basically try to incorporate my offense game style in singles to doubles, but also that's an easier transition. I definitely need to. I want to focus more on my flicks, kind of like my net play. I want to be a little more tricky, deceiving, not so one-dimensional. I think sometimes I can get caught just kind of making dinks rather than setting things up, trusting my speed ups. I think I get a little passive sometimes if I kind of go for a speed up and miss or get countered hard. I'm kind of thinking like, oh crap, like I can't do that again. But in reality, like the more I think of it, it's a chess match. Like if you only dink and you never speed up and risk getting countered, you're never going to be able to have a successful speed up. So I think just kind of figuring that out and when the better times to speed up, what spots, that's what I'm kind of really working on. But definitely back end flick. I get a little frustrated with my grip sometimes on kind of what kind of grip I really need. I get caught sometimes. So I think working on that, just getting a lot of reps in, I think that's the biggest thing for me.
If you're continental with the grip though from the baseline, like what do you want to do at the net? Anything different? You want to shift into like some Mari style stuff?
I have trouble with like the feel, like turning that wrist over because it's so unnatural from tennis. Like you have a bent wrist, but then you're snapping up. I think it's like I can snap this way with my forehand, but it's really hard for me to go that way sometimes. So it's more about the feel. Like I can't feel the ball as well. I definitely have a 12 millimeter Poppy paddle tech right now. It's a little tougher to flick for sure. But I don't know. I feel like
Did you not switch to the 14.3 for them?
No, I'm still 12.7.
Got it. Did Yates switch?
Yeah. He goes back and forth.
Got it.
Yeah, He
would blame it on the paddle for sure.
No, he doesn't. He does.
Yeah.
He has I feel like naturally a little more pop and like a little more extreme grip. So I feel like he can swing a little faster with that thicker 14 and the ball won't fly as much. So I think that's why he does it.
Cool. Well, what a grind of a year since you guys signed on in March. Seems like a good decision in hindsight.
Definitely.
But what's the rest of the year, like calendar year, look like? So you got the finals, and you're gonna do Daytona or what?
No, definitely not Daytona. I'm going to. Sorry, there's something on my screen. We're going to Hawaii actually.
Nice.
Right before Christmas, so that'll be much needed break. I think we'll go 10 days there, so that'll be awesome.
Shout out Roscoe. I feel like
shout out Roscoe. Yeah, we usually go with the Bellamy family crew. Steve Bellamy, he sets this whole crazy fun trip up with like 50 to 100 people.
Damn.
We all go to like the same resort and go hiking. And hey, you guys go. I'll put in a good word. You guys are definitely welcome if you want to go.
No.
We're going to Kauai for 10 days. So usually we go to Maui. The last 4 years we've done that. So yeah, we got to get like a couple pickleball people. Megan and AJ are actually coming this year.
Nice.
So yeah, we'll have to.
Yeah. So training a bit there too, or is it just vacation?
We'll hit a little
beer and hand games against AJ.
No alcohol. We're professionals, okay?
Wow. Okay.
Of course.
Love that. Look at those eyebrows. Yeah.
Maybe a couple little small brewskis or something.
There's no way AJ will drink anything. No way.
No. He's a strict diet kind of guy. He's
for sure.
He's all healthy. To be fair though, Megan is getting him on the right track. She's making him eat some salads and
okay.
She's
Wow.
vegan, so
yes.
Maybe that'll be good for him.
I think she's good for him in a variety of ways. And if she tells him to play the right side, he'd be a top 5 right side guy. But I genuinely believe that. We'll get into that when we see you next. But anyways, congrats on the gold, second gold of the year. Thank you for coming on, sharing a little bit more about some of your great shots. But otherwise, good luck in the finals, and we'll catch you. We'll catch you soon.
Yeah, Dekel, I'll see you there.
Yeah, I'll see you in the San Clemente. Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, see
Bye,
you,
my
Andrew.
man.
All right, see ya. Thanks. See ya.
Okay, that was Hunter Johnson. I thought that was pretty insightful.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I'm going to be trying his forehand drive tips out. But a lot has gone on since the last Raise the Bar. A lot of pickleball has been played.
Yeah.
People have been in a lot of cities. People have traveled quite a bit. Let's go all the way back to Dallas, where two things happened. We had MLP Dallas, the quarterfinal matchups between the Ranchers and DC, Hustlers, Flash. And then we'll get into Worlds real quick, and then we'll fast forward to Milwaukee, and then we'll get into this week. So your schedules have been nothing but crazy.
Yeah, it's been intense.
A lot of pickleball, a lot of competition, a lot of points, a lot of rallies. But speaking of a lot of pickleball, Ranchers, DC, we went to 3 matches. We had 1 match on the first day, and then a doubleheader on the second day because we forced it to a third. Thoughts, takeaways?
Yeah, a lot of very close games. I think so on those 3 games, 3 matches, like our mix with Tina and Kwong, me and Vivian, like I think all 3 games we both had match points in all games. Kind of crazy. A lot of very close games. DC won the first 3-1. Then the next day we played the first one indoors.
Yeah, it was raining.
Yeah, it was
Dallas
raining.
weather. Mother Nature doesn't like nationals being rebranded as worlds.
No, so yeah, and then we lost 3-1 there. And then the next match we played under the lights in the evening, and unfortunately Ranchers won 3-1 there as well. We actually started well. Our women's won. Then we lost a close one in men's. Had a match point in mix and lost it. And then Edda and Christian clinched it. Yeah, so unfortunately Ryan and the Ranchers won, but they played well. Well deserved. The whole team I thought played very well, especially in that second day. All of them played well, where we were a little bit more up and down. So that's kind of what it came to it. A few points here and there, but yeah.
I don't even remember the bet, but
Do we have a
mentally?
I don't know if we ended up doing a bet.
Well, we discussed.
We discussed that we will discuss it.
Well, we were like, you'd wear our hat.
Give me a Rancher's hat. Give me.
Okay, no, it's fine. No, it's fine. I just, it's for the sake of integrity. I would have worn a DC kit. I know Adam
Full
and
kit?
Josh. Yeah, if you got,
Right.
we'll, not champion.
Arrange something for next year. Hopefully they'll keep me. We'll see. But yeah.
Yeah, it was close. Intense, good setup, fun. People came out. I think whether it was through Worlds or MLP specifically, it was a kind of a good environment.
It's the best stadium of the year.
Yeah, by sure,
Really,
by far.
Really nice. Yeah.
So, anyways, very intense, close margins. Similar on the other side, Flash and Hustlers went to 3. They ended up playing a doubleheader, and their following match started like 8 p.m.
Yeah, that was late.
Yeah,
And the
super
lights
late.
there were not very.
No, they brought
not
in some
great.
portable lights. Not that great, but Flash got kind of rolled in the first match.
Yeah, which was, I mean,
It was tough.
surprising. Hustlers are a great team, but they also, I think they beat like J-Dub and Georgia like 25-12 or 13.
Yeah, we
or
were on the
something.
practice courts, and then people were like checking their phones, or you could hear it, and they were like, "Wait, what?" Like, but anyways, so props to the Flash.
Yeah, they came back the second day, played very well.
Ed rallied. Ed Chow rallied the troops. Shout out to Ed, but they're taking on the Shock. But we'll talk about this week in Orlando coming up in a little bit. But then after MLP Dallas was MLP Worlds, the biggest tournament in pickleball history. The pros were playing there, and this guy, what'd you get?
Silver. We got to the finals with Pablo. Second time playing with Pablo. Honestly, first time we played was Vegas. It wasn't our best event, but this time we felt really good. Like from practicing before the event, felt like we were both playing well and can really go far. And Pablo played lights out all week. We had some good wins. Yeah, I felt it's.
Oh, you took down the hottest young kid team.
Yeah, so
CJ and Kwon, who
CJ
rolled the
Kwon,
Johns.
who beat Ben and Colin. I felt like during that match in the semifinal, the crowd. First of all, the stadium was full. I think it's like 2,000 or a little bit over,
Yeah.
which is really fun. It was like probably the best atmosphere of the year. So really enjoyed that, and even though most of the crowd was cheering for the kids,
For the young kids,
I can't blame them. They're a fun duo and got a bunch of upsets and were playing really well. But yeah, like the roars from the crowd during that match was like, you know, the loudest we've had this year. So a lot of fun points. Yeah, glad we could take it out, that we could pull it out. The first game we had 2 game points at like 11-10 or something like that, and I had 2 shots that I should make, or you know, I should make them, and lost both of those points and ended up losing 14-12 in that game. So that was a little bit of a heartbreaker, but we came back in the second game, won at 11-1 and then 11-5 in the third. Played very solid. Yeah, unfortunately in the finals, did not bring our A game. Both me and Pablo made a few too many errors. But yeah, Hayden and Riley got gold, and they played really well. They played fast. They didn't give us anything. They definitely deserved it. They almost lost in the quarters to J-Dub and Dylan. They were down like a game in A2, ended up winning like 11-8, 11, I don't know, something 11-2, pretty handily, and then rolled in the semis and beat us pretty handily in the finals as well. So they were hot. Hayden was playing very well there as a strong right, and Riley really solid and doing his thing on the left. Yeah, so
strong right.
Yeah, and we had the girlies, Anna and Rachel, winning gold again, and
Clean.
like 3 games,
Like
4, 6,
50
8,
minutes,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah, that was very, very dominant, and yeah, they played amazing. I didn't watch it when it happened, but I watched it later. Yeah, so kudos to them. What else do we have it?
Shout out to Ranchers Kwong, who had a chance.
Three semis. That's
Maybe the hottest tournament start of anyone in this year, and then stumbled, got a little tired, just couldn't keep the magic happening. But anyways, he went 0 for 3 on bronze and Sunday. And I don't mean to throw him under the bus, but it was so like him and CJ were going to be electric. They rolled the Johns. It's like, wow, he's going to get a bronze, or at least in men's.
I mean, if you're in 3 semis,
he's playing with AB. No, it was a good weekend, but the way it turned into just be a good weekend as opposed to a great weekend was very funny.
Yeah, it's the first time we went deep in all 3. It's a lot. It's a lot of matches. It's a lot mentally. It's been a long year. A lot of the players there were tired. Honestly, I got to that tournament the most tired mentally I've ever been. Like especially after like a long MLP weekend. Like you start the week, you're drained. Always after MLP, you're drained. But also a long year. We had back-to-back MLPs as well. So I think for me, just kind of like getting through the first couple days and just having the big crowds we had in Dallas helped massively. And also having like Pablo really brought a lot of energy, which helped me a lot. I felt very energized on court, even though I was tired. So it's the outside, the crowd. Thank you everybody who came to cheer. It really makes it, honestly, really makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it really is awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, Q actually had 2 of his bronze medal matches. He won the first game and had match points in his. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, he's a great player. Gonna keep getting better.
Yeah, him and AB had a fun run, but Fed ended up taking him down twice on Sunday in men's and in mixed, which is they just found a way. They found a way,
and he got gold in singles. He had a good day.
CJ Klinger and Kwong going to be a partnership in 2025. Yeah, I think 8 or 10 times. So.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah,
because I think I heard CJ and James are starting together.
I think there's a temporary
maybe a couple.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're going to be a thing. So it's cool. It's a nice aggressive, but still ball making modern approach to Pickle, and their youth and their personalities, and they're just kind of like a marketable duo that people who follow the tour I think are gonna fall in love with. So Dallas was big, and then we rolled into Milwaukee this weekend. AB keeps her hot streak.
Yeah.
So AB
double gold.
I mean, she's just becoming the number 2.
Yeah,
solidified. Number. I know, but
I feel like it's been number 2 forever, but more solidifies and getting even closer to Real. Even though it's hard to it's closing the relatively big gap that AL had.
Yeah, but she's winning. I mean, she joked on Raise the Bar a month and a half. Not joke that she's a winner, and and she's finding a way to win even when the Kawamotos is super tough.
Yeah.
You know, are like making balls, keeping them on their toes. Elise and Tyra gave them another battle, but they've adjusted well, and I think to me what stands out is Rachel and AB are kind of like finding a way to win and doing so in a very like tight feedback loop, you know, from one tournament to another.
Yeah.
You can see distinct adjustments or approaches to where like they narrowly lose to Catherine and AL, and then they're rolling them in 3 games fast, you know, and it's like, that's not just hoping your opponent is having an off day. That's, you're doing something different and executing it. So props to them.
Yeah, for sure. They're both really good competitors. You can see it, you know.
Yeah.
Always when they're up or down. So it helps a lot.
Yeah, Rachel still has one of the most... Mari's flick is still mind-blowingly confusing to me sometimes. And Rachel's drops or resets
It's
where
crazy.
she like
Like,
swings
takes a swing,
into it, but
and
yet
it's perfect in the
doesn't decel, and it's got a nice loopy shape. It always bounces, and I'm just like, that's how she beat us in women's in match 3. We hit her every ball bounced. It's insane.
Yeah.
That touch and coordination is just insane, but Rachel finds a way, you know. Every other 4-0 would be taught not to do that, but, you know, hey, if it works for you and you're gifted, do it. But what else stood out in Milwaukee? People like the town. People like
CJ,
convention centers downtown. Hunter talked about it, but Vegas, Salt Lake City, that's a winning combo.
It's nice that it's downtown and you have like a lot going on, and it is organized there. It's nice, you know. You don't have the elements besides the courts. Once they figure out the courts, then it's going to be ideal.
And games get played. Amateurs want to play their games, and
no rain delays.
Yeah, it's.
We had James and CJ making finals.
Kind of
good run.
And then
CJ has been playing well.
Dylan.
Oh yeah,
Dylan Frazier.
Dylan,
we could have had him
gold.
on. Yeah, Dylan with the gold. Baby Dill. Mixed man. He's a mixed man. I remember him and Kate beat Jackie and Riley in Vegas, you know, a few weeks ago. And now here he is going to gold with AB.
Dylan can play really good mix. He hasn't had a good mix year until now. But yeah, Dylan, when he kind of gets more aggressive in the kitchen, he can. Yeah, he's very, very dangerous.
Yeah, he's such a good mover.
Yeah.
You know who's a sneaky mover? AB. AB in singles, sneaky mover. Like like it's not blazingly fast or something, but it's effective.
Just like the right way, kind of like I would say
the right step at the right time.
I would say like Ben is not like fast per se, but he moves like to the right places and very efficient.
Also, we don't have notes for this, but shout out Zoe Wong getting to the championship
first final.
Sunday.
First final, Zoe. Congrats.
Her ground strokes are money.
She everything about her game is very technically sound. It's like
it just is like, oh, that's how I hit,
smooth,
and then you
very
see it.
smooth. Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's how I think I hit, and you're like, no. But she moves through the ball, stays so low, but she takes Kate to game 3. Kate fights it out. I think that's Kate's second gold. Anyway, she's a beard on.
I think third, but I'm not sure.
Note to self, check that. But anyways, shout out to Kate and Zoe. Obviously Hunter, and I don't know. Watch Pickleball TV or watch Pickleball TV. This is not a plug, but it's a good experience, and I think it's going to get better. But it really has transformed watching the live streams. Rather than 4 YouTubes and Pickleball TV, it's like
just one location.
I highly recommend the trial. If you're listening to this pod, you probably care about pro. You probably watch pro from time to time. It'll make your experience really good. Again, no financial incentive, but I've liked it a lot. Caroline's loved it. It's been good.
Enjoyed it. Yeah.
It's been solid.
Watched it a lot this week.
Honestly, they just need to get skipping 10 seconds forward, backward on desktop, and then it'll be like great. They have it on mobile.
You can't do it on
mobile. You can do it,
stuff?
but no, not yet.
No?
It's a small little tweak. Developers in Santa Monica, figure that shit out. Okay, that's Milwaukee.
This week. What?
Okay, new mini segment. This is where we dink. Maybe do a little speed ups. Forgive me in my shoes. I look like a school teacher. But anyways, we're gonna talk about this week coming up. and I think we've got some exciting things. But Dekel, why don't you kick it off? What's going on in your week?
All right,
It's Monday.
It's Monday. First, I took a few days off after Worlds. It was 10 weeks in a row on the road for me, so very much needed a few days off. Then started drilling here at the lab, of course. Where else? Had some good sessions with Carlos, and today had some three-person drills. Really trying to work on kind of more specific stuff, which kind of like game situations with 3 people. So trying out different methods of drilling, and it was actually really good. I'm definitely gonna do it again.
What's a game situation that you did?
So, for example, just to handle drives, I was handling drives after you like unstack. I feel like a lot of players, you know, it's a known thing that you drive and drop. Hey, let's go to the person coming in. So just worked on that because I had a few volleys I felt like that I missed in the previous week. So returned down the line and then ran across to handle the drive from my opponent and play out the point that way. So that's just one example. And yeah, gonna keep training the next few days. Got some games set up after a few days of drilling. I kind of like doing that, drilling for a few days and then a couple of days of games to try to implement what I worked on. So yeah, that's my week. What does that think? Come on, Ryan. Come on, you don't miss those.
Trying to do. Wow.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
This week I've been digging and drilling a lot with Lacey. Schneeman has moved to Austin.
Schneeman the Demon, welcome to Austin.
Yeah, warm welcome, but she's welcome here, and we've been training and drilling a lot, so it's been fun. She likes to grind. But other than that, then watching a lot of the fives on MLP YouTube. So we play them in the semifinals in Orlando, and we're trying to prep for a best of 3 matchup against them and find some winning strategies. No!
This guy's ready.
Find some winning strategies against their teams. Obviously, they're funky. They don't necessarily have to get to the Dream Breaker. There's some good teams. They've got AL, Will, and Mari have risen. Their floors have gotten a lot better. So it's a tough team to crack. And then they have Zane, an MLP GOAT and master strategist. So yeah, we're heads down. We're going to Orlando Tuesday, Wednesday. Get 2 days of full practice in and try to find and exploit some seams. Because no one's perfect. No one's locked up perfectly. And it's going to be fun. And then when we win in some fashion, we will have to play the finals, literally 3 matches in 1 day.
It's a tough schedule. Like looking at it, like just the way we played 3 games in in a day and a half. This is
potentially 5 or 6 full matches in 2.5 days. So
it's a lot. Like everybody was like dead after that weekend of just like 1 meeting.
Yeah.
So back to back, it's gonna be tough.
So we'll see. Hopefully I'm not over my skis, but anyways, we're gonna work hard. Ideally beat them 3-1. Although everyone says their Dream Breaker is great, it is good. Our Dream Breaker is not bad with 2 top 6 guys.
Yeah.
And
I would say your guys are top Dream Breaker and your girls are
sure
below.
But Mari and Tina would be a very fun Dream Breakers matchup.
Oh yeah, just the slices.
Like cat and mouse slice.
Yeah.
Like
Tina is underrated in singles for sure.
Yeah.
She's obviously not a single specialist, but she's better.
Yeah.
Better than. Oh. You just won me out of the frame, don't you? No way.
Okay, well, please watch and cheer for the Ranchers this weekend. We'll hear more about 2-in-1 drilling, which actually has been very effective for Dekel. Mm-hmm. And it's been fun to watch. And shout out Chase, Etienne, Carlos. But anyways, thank you for tuning in to Raise the Bar. We're going to catch you in the Juicy TidBit. It's Juicy TidBit time. Big D, what do we got for him?
We got right side specialist Ryan showing us the main 3 aggressive dinks on the right.
3 aggressive dinks coming up for you. Again, these have to be earned. You have to be able to get a neutral ball that you can manipulate. We want to bring aggression on the dinks. It isn't just about hitting it over and having it bounce. This is kind of like sits on the foundation of making some of the more defensive resets and balls. But there are 3 that I'm starting to really lean into, and then you may see someone like Hayden or Gabe. Again, I'm not in their company, but if you're trying to play strong right and be aggressive, this is the way to do it. So the first one is you're going to take a middle type ball and bring that back out, slightly inside out to Dekel's backhand. So amateur backhands are pretty weak, but this is also a shot that most folks aren't seeing in games now. So I'm getting a ball and I'm holding and I'm pushing back out there. And I'm pushing back out there, hold, and pushing back out there. So he has a tough backhand reset. Maybe he brings that line, and we've taught you to earn on previous tidbits. I'm jumping that, and I'm earning that, or I'm earning the pop-up and allowing myself to flick. The key thing here on all 3 of these shots, and primarily this one, is being able to hold. And what do we mean by hold? We'll probably do a segment about this, but it's getting my paddle below and behind the ball, and then making my opponent kind of guess or flinch as to like what I'm going to do with it. So if I have the time to sit here, I don't want to immediately hit it. I want to hold, hold and then push. Let me do that again. Hold and push. Hold and push. Because I may push it there that time, but the next hold, I may push it to his right foot, and that's what we're going to do next. So the second aggressive dink is taking this hold pattern in front of me and pushing it to his right forehand center, or even the inside foot of the right sider across from me. So again, we're dinking. I find a ball, hold, push. Get it back, hold, push. Hold, push. Hold, push. Oh, see how that works in tandem with each other? So again, ball, hold, push. Now, Dekel can explain his reasoning why, but those 2 spots are down and away from each other. They can also come from that same holding position in a neutral like forehand. And if you do get it to the left of the tee, that's the inside foot of the right sider, and that's a very delicate ball that they typically can't ever attack, and if anything, just have to kind of reset, whether it's off the bounce or a normal dink. But that's where you get kind of those weird Tyson-like backhand dinks just because you're attacking the left foot.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like Ryan said, the hold is the kind of the deceptiveness of your shot. When Ryan is holding, and for just that fraction of a second, I'm waiting. I'm not sure where he's going, and he can really catch me off guard. And those 2 spots, one, if he goes behind me, here I'm on my back foot, and he can, after that shot, he can go to a different spot or just be aggressive again. And that middle spot, for me, it's a tough shot between me and my partner, especially if we're new partnership, we're not sure.
Middle solves the riddle.
Yes, we're not sure who is supposed to take that, or even with veteran partnerships, it can be an issue. So really good spot, and also a spot that is hard for me to be aggressive on after Ryan's dink, unless he pops it up, of course, but Ryan is really good, so he's not going to do that.
Yeah, barely. Would never do that. But anyways, the third shot is a little bit more traditionally known. That's going to be something where I go cross court. So if Dekel wants to go and play on the right side here, we're going to try to take a ball that's probably out to my right just a little bit and aggressively push Dekel back out behind him to his right. Again, the equivalent positioning of where I'm aiming. I'm not trying to nail this on the line here. I'm trying to go slightly in and out towards here. So it does push them off the court. You run the risk of a little bit of ATP, but more importantly, we're trying to make this kind of a sharper ball that he purely has to defensively kind of handle. Again, aggressive dinks don't mean clean winner dinks. They mean bringing pressure, making them hit a skillful and wise decision. The key thing here, now you may see some advanced folks like Tyson or AB and a lot of the Rachel. They're going to have this like kind of big brush up from the top. I don't necessarily do that. I like to get behind the ball and kind of do my traditional kind of forehand from low to high. And I'll show you a little bit of what that means. So I get a ball here. I'm pushing back out. Again, there's no windshield wiper wrist flick. I'm really trying to just make sure I get margin and hit that spot. And come back to the middle because I may get a ball to attack later, but I'm really working this angle. Now if I get this, boom, inside out. Dekel, you got to be there. Now,
Not bad.
do you see how simple that is? There's no wrist manipulation. I'm not finishing up by my head. I'm simply taking a dink that I would have hit straight on, but I'm hitting it straight back out here, but that means I got to move my butt and my feet and my brain to get in front of it.
Yeah.
He didn't know that sequence was coming.
No. And if you notice, and Ryan pointed out in the beginning, this is a shot that you hit when it's a neutral dink. So if somebody's pushing you back, this is not the time to try these aggressive dinks. It's one of the main things for me when we're seeing any amateur play, that you try to do a little bit too much when somebody's being aggressive against them. So again, this shot, do it when you're in a better position. Like Ryan said, the ball's in front of you. You moved your feet well to be in good position to hit it.
Right. You've earned the opportunity to apply this pressure because you got to the kitchen and you made a few dinks and then they left you a neutral one. So again, aggression has to be well timed, but there is a place for that. It's not all crash and bash as much as we hear about paddles and spin and drive and the third shot's dead. It's like kind of true, but not really. And more importantly, if you're playing rec with your friends, longer points are better. And if you want to be skillful about it, fun kind of movement and dynamic dinks are the way to do it. So anyways, those are the 3 aggressive dinks to look to bring into league night, to your rec session, to the backyard play. It's really fun. But again, hold and move the ball.
Yeah. Okay. And for the previous giveaway, the question was, how many shirts do I bring to a random PPA tournament? So the answer is 23. That's what I counted. That's what we got. So we'll announce the winner soon. We'll let the winner know. Congrats. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, you got it.
That was mine. That was mine.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. See you soon.